Let's talk some toys in here.
Hey, what's up everybody? Today is the Man Child. Alright, so today for review, I'm going to go over the Masters Universe Origins Spikor figures, part of the Wave 14 series. You know, another Origins, like I say with a lot of Origins, I can't believe we have a Spikor coming in hand, or I have one in hand now, and that he's in the line. I never thought 3-4 years ago the Origins would go this far. You know, just from rumors and stuff, but yeah, here we are. Now we got Spikor, another, favorite character figure as a kid. I remember getting him towards middle and I guess the middle line of the day in the 80s, and it was just so cool. I love mutant figures. This guy's got spikes and spines and purple and yeah, mechanical pitchfork arm. What more do you want? Big yellow eyes. Now just for a second before we get into this figure, I had some comments on my channel from like the Moss Man video about what was my thoughts on the San Diego Comic-Con that just 2023 went through as far as figures and stuff. I don't talk a lot about that kind of thing. I'm more the aggressive chaser and try to get stuff early in hand and show you guys what's out there if I can get it instead of doing news and things like that. I mean, that's important, but this is what I try to focus on, more of my interest. I thought San Diego Comic-Con was great, what they showed, revealed with Masterverse and Origins. Incredible stuff coming. But there is some changes. I watched a couple different interviews. I know, like Pixel Dan, he did a great job. He asked all the right questions, I thought, with especially the Origins, and that's what we're talking about here. Seems like a lot of the Origins going forward this year, or maybe the end of this year, definitely into 2024, it's going to be only the vintage-inspired Origins, not the Filmation ones they're announcing. But the vintage-inspired Origins coming forward are going to be all Mattel creations. That's what I got out of it. So it seems like you're only going to be able to purchase them on Mattel Creations. Yeah, it's a good and bad thing, kind of mixed on it. I like the idea that there's a resource instead of a Walmart where you can't get stuff or whatnot, that like Creations you can go and at a certain time go on and get them. But my only wish is that, and Pixel Dan answers this question too, is there going to be enough of them? Are they going to be easy to get? All that stuff. Yeah, and it's pretty important. I don't know. And the representative from Mattel couldn't, he had a hard time answering questions. And I don't blame him because they don't know. It's a long time away, but I really hope so. And they also did promise they are going to finish up the Origins line, especially with the figures, maybe some other vehicles and stuff. But that in itself is exciting because we're so far in the line, and we're going to have a 2-bad come in. We're going to have Modulok, all that stuff. They did announce Cyclone and Extendor, and they showed early, figures. They look incredible. Again, Mattel Creations. But anyway, I want to throw my 2 cents out there. Aside that, here's Spikor. He looks awesome, so let's take a look at him. And of course, spinning the packaging around, let's take a look at that awesome Origins art. Yeah, Spikor just looks incredible. Not only the figure, but that art. We got, looks like, I guess that's Rock On. Now, he was announced to show too, I'm sorry, with an Extendor. So we got Extendor 2 coming with Cyclone. Cyclone's not in here, but awesome art and 2 cool figures, not to mention Cyclone coming in the line. They said 2024 or early next year. And dropping down to the left side of the package, now, of course, shows Spikor's action features. So you can remove the Trident hand, so that's an individual piece. And looks like so is the extension piece. So, of course, it doesn't retract in or out anymore like the vintage did, because then you would lose that articulation in the elbow. And then moving over, these are all 4 figures as part of the Wave 14 series. And, of course, here's the new Rise of Snakeman bio, which seems to be on all these future cards now. And here's a quick in-shot lineup of all 4 figures, obviously, in the Wave 14 series. I used to do these all 4 at one time. It takes a lot of time work. Just want to show them individually so you see what they look like in card. So before we go over Spikor, of course, we'll check out the comic. Now, the comic comes with all 4 figures. Maybe as I do each one, I'll show it again. If not, you can go back. I'll check out my Spikor video or something, so it ain't repetitious. But so it's just called the Fading Fortress. Awesome art. We got Squeeze on the front. Got some of the Snake Men troopers in back. Yeah, of course, our new 2000X Inspired Man in Arms. So I'll open it up, take a look at all the art. You can try to read it if you can. But yeah, awesome. Got Snake Mountain. Of course, that place is coming soon. Spikor. Bunch of cool stuff going on. Jet sleds flying around. And just, of course, like all the comic books, has all the different figures from the Wave mixed in. All right, and finally, here's Spikor at a package. Look at that, man. Wow. I mean, incredible. It's just another figure like Moss Man I just recently reviewed and trickling out there places, man, just incredible. Perfect job on them so far. And bringing Spikor in for a closer look. Yeah, head's just, it's perfect to me, you know. It feels and looks exactly like the vintage, but of course now it articulates, which the vintage only went back and forth from what I remember. Yeah, just the big yellow eyes, bolted a little black pupils in there, and mine. Yeah, they look pretty cool. You know, the classics, which mine's in card, of course. There was a issue with them where some of the eyes were wonky, or one of the mine, of course, classics has one if you look close. But these are, yeah, it's just perfect. Pig face he always had, the spikes, and they're really the rubbery teeth. We got the two lower fangs, and then I thought this was at first. I don't remember the vintage one, but yeah, that's normal, I guess. Okay, so the other fangs go forward, and they're painted like in a semi kind of circular pattern. It look like slop, but no, that's right. They're both equal. I guess that's what they intended. As far as the articulation with this head, so we can go all the way down, back, of course, rock side to side, rotate all around, spin it around like the Exorcist. Look at all the spikes, though. It's so cool. And moving down to the chest and buck are armored. Yeah, really cool. Same thing, all rubbery spikes. That just awesome purplish color. Obviously, totally different from the body. I like going back to the vintage again. Now I heard that this rubber armor is different than the Junkyard Dog that came with the WWE line. I didn't collect any of that, but that's what I thought they were going to do if they ever made a Spikor. And it's apparently a little different from what I remember hearing in the comments or something when this figure was announced in images. I'll take a look at that later, but it's perfect. Yeah, it's just like, so you got the green different, yeah, little square pieces in here. Of course, the neck collar's individual, so let's pop the head off. All right, there's our ball peg and how the head comes off. So putting the head back on, taking a closer look at the armored. So we already look at the front. Right now, here's the back of it. Same thing. Very reminiscent of the vintage. So we have the collar. This piece goes all the way down. Even got a piece that goes around the outer, close to the waist. Now, of course, the waist pops apart. But I was hoping, I thought there'd be two snaps and it'd be split here like most of the Origins armor. The whole piece would flip off. From what I see, it's not. Now, you can pull this back and you can see it's kind of, yeah, look at that. So the rubber can come off if you want it to, but it's its own buck design. That's what these pieces are, including the collar, and then in the back too, they're individual. Oh no, they're all part of the, they're all part of this, excuse me, this front piece. So it's like this would roll off, and then it looks like it's glued from here, like this back part, or tucked under here or something. So it's its own piece. It's not, he doesn't have a normal He-Man buck underneath from what I can see. All right, so moving on to the arms. So obviously, like I said, we know this is all its own thing going on here, but the rubber can come off if you wanted to, and which is all right. I mean, it would have been cool to pull the armor off for you customizers and have a purple buck, because this is a unique purple we haven't seen yet in the Origins. But yeah, you could, you can mix it up with other parts. So as far as the arm articulation with all this rubber on, it's all typical stuff, right? Up, down, forward, back, bend at the elbow, and go way up to the head like this. Spikor comes with, so his wrist bracers are all purple like the arm. Once again, I think the vintage one was. So the right hand comes with a semi-weapon gripping hand, I call them. Of course, it can spin, go in and out. And then going to the left side, articulation is also all the same, right? Typical stuff, in and out. But, so the left side obviously has this his spike weapon. Now, it can spin, and let's pull it off for a second, look at it by itself. Okay, so there's your peg there. And taking a closer look at it, that peg, it is on a hinge joint, so it can also go in, go in and out of the arm. Has an extended piece with the pitchfork. And yeah, now obviously I just noticed I gave you two different pitchfork arms. So this is the extended version. Now obviously it doesn't go in and out, it doesn't do anything else. It just articulates from here like a show and can spin. And then here's the shorter version, right, that you would replace that long extended version for, so it's retracted into the arm. And here's a side-by-side comparison with the two. So yeah, obviously... yeah, pretty cool. Round silver spikes, just all painted in gray. Both exactly the same. Of course, we know this is black as far as extended piece. And then we'll plug the short one into this side now. It'll go in like that. And again, it can spin and it can go, depending on which position you spin it, go up and down or left to right. Here's a quick look with that short piece on the arm. Like Spikor's getting in a battle-ready pose to shoot it out. Now, of course, he's in a battle pose with the arm extended. And with the extended piece still on, as I said, we can spin. We know we can go in and out, left to right, up and down, depending on how you spin this. But what's cool now, too, is you can have it with the fork, the trident down, facing down flat, or you can spin it all the way in this position. And moving on to Spikor's last accessory, of course, he comes with his iconic spiked mace, like we've seen in the vintage classics and now Origins. Yeah, just really cool material, too. It's not too gummy. These are really hard. Got a little grip piece there for the handle. And of course, it's in a bright, like dark orange color. And now here's a look with Spikor with his extended trident mechanical arm over there, and of course the spike mace in the right hand. Looks awesome. Now, of course, you notice the only hand that's going to hold that spike mace or any weapon is the right hand, because it's only, obviously arm that comes with a hand. But however, I do have a Masterverse hand from the Masterverse Spikor, and I'll bring him in. We'll try the heads or whatever parts we can. There's not much that might be able to fit on this arm. Okay, and there we go. So I did use the Masterverse spare Spikor hand on the Origins Spikor. Fits perfect. The color it's purple. It is obviously off. You can touch it up with some kind of paint, but it's the same peg. It does spin. The hinge joint goes in and out and holds the weapon perfect. Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't come with two hands. They gave you two different weapons, but I don't know why they give you another hand. It's a big deal. But anyway, it does work if you have a Masterverse Spikor, and it's perfect. So the color's a little off. So I just wanted to pop one of the arms at 2. Let's check that out real quick for customizers. All right, so the arm, of course, on a peg can be removed, and you can take a better look. Once again, of how that rubber's conformed or glued or set over this specific buck they have in the whole design, the arm joint and whatnot. And putting the arm back on, moving down. Of course, the left arm comes off as well. We know the waist comes apart. We already did that. Just finish up the articulation. So we know he comes with the typical, Master Universe belt, loincloth, all the same, but red, the belt, and then lower part's black. Mine has a little, what is that? Little paint, chip. Looks like something came off the belt in the factory. Back here, too, I have some white on my spike from the teeth or something. But it can remove easy. You can use a marker, touch that up, ain't the end of the world. Well, the articulation, right, as far as the legs, do a split. Go forward, back, bend all the way up at the knee. You can spin at the knee. My joints are really tight in this figure, so I like that. And then he has typical He-Man boots, but all dark brown. And they can spin, of course, and the foot can go up and down, spin left to right. And they are Origins, so we can pop the boots off and now put whatever we want on them. And real quick, so that loincloth, what I like about having a loincloth that's black, that paint is really on there. I could try to chip it away, but I could use a black little touch of marker. Look, fixes it right up, gone. And moving on to a little bit of comparison. So here's just my Spikor and card. Yeah, a little bit of a redesign, but it looks, very close, reminiscent of the vintage. His head was smaller, the spikes were a little different. And even if I had a loose one, you can't do nothing with the armor now because we can't get this Origins Spikor one off, or the arm too, I think, is different. And for one more comparison, whatever parts we can swap. So, of course, we have a new Origins Spikor against our Masterverse Spikor, which I really liked. I like that design. He was cool when he showed him a Revelation cartoon. Head was a little on the smaller side, but again, it's very close with the classics did because they shrunk, they made their head more narrow too, where this guy's really round, which I like. I'm kind of mixed. So as far as part swapping between the Origins and Masterverse, so of course we have our Origins buck. This is a Masterverse head on him. Yeah, it looks pretty cool, and the purple, very close to the, the arms and legs, but a little darker. It's different from the body, but it does fit well, articulates, and it looks pretty cool. It's different, could work. And of course, moving on to the left arm, I use that Masterverse Spikor spiked arm, more of a mechanical thing that works perfect on the Origins left arm. Spins, and it doesn't, he didn't have articulation, can only spin. Of course, his fork didn't do nothing, didn't go in and out, but take a look at that. I like it. And then here's a comparison or difference between the two different spike maces for each Spikor figure. So, of course, this is the Origins, and this is the Masterverse, and yeah, it'll work in each figure, and they both look cool in their own way. Now here's a look with the Masterverse body with the Origins Spikor head on it and Origins extended trident. It looks pretty cool and it works. A little darker, different purple, but it's close to his armor. It has like more of a violet color into it, where this is just a deeper purple. And of course, the outer arms and legs are its own unique purple, but I like it, and pops right on. Articulation works well. Can look all the way down, up, spin left to right, and the same thing is pitchfork and spin, and so now this one with the joint can articulate back and forth or up and down. And then here's a retracted or the shorter trident on the Masterverse arm. Same thing, can spin, rotate left to right, up and down, depending on how you position it. So now he has a retracted arm where the original one I have on the Origins couldn't. It was extended, its own design. Okay, so that's my overall review for the Master Universe Origins Spikor figure as part of the Wave 14 series. I think he's perfect. I couldn't be happier, Yeah, it would have been cool if the armor somehow can come off for you customizers and put it on, try it on. I'm curious if it went on a Masterverse body. I don't think this armor would go from the Masterverse to the Origins because the buck looks so wide, I don't think. But it's neat that the arms are interchangeable between the Origins and Masterverse. So you can share the spikes, especially the heads, you articulate, and they look cool and unique in their own way. I would have liked also the Spikor to come with a spare hand. I mean, what's the big deal? They didn't throw one in. But you can, again, use the one off the Masterverse Spikor if you have them, or buy a spare one on eBay. It's pretty cheap. And it works perfect. Color's a little off. You can always touch it up. But it works good enough. Otherwise, another great design figure for the Master Universe Origins. And I couldn't be happier. So I appreciate all you guys watching. And until next time, take care.